everybody, it's John Huber here. It is Thursday, December 15th, 2022. Just a little bit of update what's been going on around the state in terms of education. Not a lot, to be honest with you, but there are a handful of things to take note of. Towson High School, they have found the perpetrators, according to the police. They were both juvenile. One was in the state, one was in North Carolina. Wouldn't give a lot of detail other than that. Other than to say that they were juveniles and they have been apprehended, they're being charged, et cetera, et cetera. So, lesson to keep an eye on your kids, folks. They're out there, they think that stuff's funny. There is nothing funny. Along with that same thing, I did a little piece on the meeting at Towson High, and it was very interesting. One of the questions that kept coming up was, when the police or the school system, or the police in particular, say that a threat has been deemed to be not credible or it has deemed to be unsubstantiated, what does that mean? And they really kind of get vague on that when they say, well, our investigation. They say, well, what does that mean? And they really can say, well, what do you do? How do you investigate? And they're very vague on that. I have some insight I'm going to provide with you in another video on exactly what my experience has shown, that what they mean when they say that a threat has been unsubstantiated. Anyway, that's going on. Anne Arundel County is fighting their transportation issues. They have implemented some private companies that are apparently, they've contracted some vans and whatnot to take some of the special ed kids and the folks, some of the kids in the non-publics. I said non-profits a few videos ago. They're called non-publics. But anyway, they took some of those, so they're taking some of the weight off the current, the big yellow buses. I will say this: I did a video on this like a year or two ago. The biggest issue in transportation, I'm telling you, is they're transporting homeless kids all over the place. They're transporting magnet kids all over the place. And they're transporting special ed kids all over the place. So, yes, there is a shortage of drivers, but there's also a need for a huge amount more than they have ever needed in the past. So, and some of the state programs that are coming out in this Kirwan Commission, which is now the Maryland Blueprint for Maryland's Future, they also include lots and lots of transportation indications in there. So anyways, I'll get to that as we get into the we'll do some videos on the Kirwan Commission and the Maryland Blueprint, the Blueprint for Maryland's Future in Education. Anyway, that's what's going on. Weather in the state of Maryland. A lot of school systems have gone to 2-hour late and that kind of stuff. And, every time I see this, and I used to deal with this when I was in school, when I was an administrator, parents just, no matter what you do, they just, they come at you from all angles. Some of them announced last night, right? Last night we're going to go, I think BCPS did, if I'm not mistaken. BCPS said, last night we're going to go 2 hours late tomorrow. And, you look on Facebook and some of the other places around there, and I say, this is ridiculous. It's not even raining yet. How am my kid supposed to get an education? And just the venom that comes out in some of these comments. And then this morning, Anne Arundel County, they're like yelling and screaming it down. How can you wait till the last minute? It's not, it's like, for God's sake, take a deep breath and relax. And, you know what gets me? Nobody cares. Nobody cares about. Yes, they do. They do care. Do they make some tough decisions? Yeah. But that's part of it. But anyway, that's what's going on today. The weather, and lastly, it has been quiet overall in the past month or so because we're getting to that time of the year. Things are starting to wind down. We're getting ready to take a big break. But let me tell you, the state level. The Blueprint for Maryland's Future, it is coming. It's coming hard. They're in committees now. They're starting to meet and really starting to flesh out some of these details and some of the nuts and bolts of what's going on. In particular, assistant principals are going to have to teach 20% of the time. Principals are going to have to, or they're going to encourage principals to teach 20% of the time. So there's a lot going on there. People they're starting to ask questions like, well, what do we do if we can't meet it? Anyway, I got a series of videos coming up on that, so be sure and stay in tune to that. But outside of that, that's it. It's quiet for now, but I can tell you, very shortly when these Blueprint for Maryland Futures some of these pillars start becoming implemented. And it is a 10-year plan, which watch my video go into a little more detail. Anyway, there's a lot right around the corner. It's quiet for now, other than the weather. Everyone complaining about that. And, of course, you got the Towson High thing has been resolved. Thank goodness, and Anne Arundel County and their transportation. So, anyway, that's a short wrap up. I hope everyone has a terrific weekend, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye bye.